This is not for you. If you're one of those guys that wants to sit there in front of the monitor and have the action, go to Vegas. It's cheaper and they'll comp you for your room if you lose, okay?
And they'll give you free drinks also, Roger.
Thank you very much. Exactly. But if you want to be able to live life on your own terms and you want to be able to get on the most explosive opportunities, this is the way to go. Pay off your mortgage. Hey, I don't have a mortgage, and I'm pretty sure Adam doesn't. He's got 3 houses. We'll talk about that in the future too. If you want to do the things you've always dreamed of doing, look at this. I mean, this picture, I kept staring at this picture last night, Adam. Family on vacation, Italy. Now, I love Venice, Italy. I went there on my honeymoon. I love Italy. I mean, look at this. Imagine going to a place like this. Imagine this is paradise after COVID-19 is over, of course. How about travel the world? Here's a picture of Adam. Here he's in Egypt. The next one, China. The next one, he's in Sicily. Then Barcelona. Then Times Square. Adam is a man of the world. He's traveled everywhere around the world. And when I asked Adam for pictures, he volunteered to give me 12 others from other places he's visited. I dared to ask Adam what places he hasn't been to. Okay.
Sub-Saharan Africa. How about that?
All right. So travel the world. You're definitely in the right place. In just a few minutes, Adam is going to show you how Alpha Trades could have turned $500. Our starting capital, our bar is set really low. We're not even going $1,000. We're going $500 into $117,888 in less than 2 weeks. Can you imagine? I mean, just the thought of that, taking $500 and turning it into $117,000 plus in 13 days. This is why some of the richest families in the world have come to Adam for help in trading money. Adam will even give you his number one stock that he believes can pay out 1,235% in the coming months. He's going to do it right before we tune out, so don't go anywhere. Stick around, all right? First, I'll let Adam introduce himself to explain why the world's elite come to him to grow their wealth. Adam, come on in, take over the screen, and tell us about yourself. I want to hear all about it. I want people to hear the kind of legendary traders we have here at Wealth Press.
Well, Roger, thank you so much for the very warm and introduction and the opportunity to help and serve others. So my name is Adam Sarhan. I've been trading the markets for over 20 years, since the 90s, and I've started off with nothing. So I'm a student of markets, if you will. I have a passion. It's really the primary driver of everything I do, to understand and figure out how to make money on Wall Street and consistently take money out of the market. So I started my business in my dorm room in grad school, and I've built it over the years to serve some of the largest families, like Roger had mentioned, several billionaire clients, and some of the largest investment banks, not only in the U.S., but all over the world. And I did it, and I owe it all to what I call Alpha Trades. And the way that the Alpha Trade system works is that it's a very simple approach where I'm looking for the best of the best. And I'll get into that a little bit later. Some of my clients, well-known clients, are a gentleman named Ace Greenberg. He's Donald Trump's former stockbroker. He's the man who built Bear Stearns before it went down.
Wow.
Roger, great guy, super smart as a tack, and we had a great relationship. And here's a picture with me and him when he published his book. Another one, T. Boone Pickens, multi-billionaire, self-made. Again, this guy's super well-known. And he came to me a few years ago, his team, and they said, listen, we're launching a new ETF at the New York Stock Exchange. Can you help us fill the room for our launch party? I said, sure. How many people do you want? They said a few hundred. I got them a few hundred hedge fund managers, brokers, financial advisors, so on and so forth. And it was a great event. It was right at the New York Stock Exchange. Another self-made billionaire is Thomas Kaplan. Tom Kaplan turned $10,000 into a few billion. And I watched him, Roger, single-handedly make $500 million. That's $500 million in 2008 when everybody else was getting crushed. Even the family office of Stanley Druckenmiller. And Stanley Druckenmiller.
I'm going to jump in here real quick, folks. Now, for those of you who don't know who this man is, I'm sure everybody here who knows who George Soros is. Well, Stanley Druckenmiller, between us here, he used to be, till he went on his own, Soros's number one trader. You know that whole story about Soros, the Bank of England, how they crashed the Bank of England? That's the guy who did it. This is the guy. Don't believe anything I say. Read Market Wizards, my favorite book. He's the featured trader there. Yeah. This is I would say, top 5 trader of all time. In the same, Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller. These are we're talking the elite of elite traders. So this guy makes billions can literally make $1 billion in a day.
It's unreal. And Google
yeah,
know the story. So his family office, if you had portfolio managers, they've come to me all for these alpha trades. Not even these self-made billionaires, but the biggest Wall Street banks in the world have come to me over the years as have been clients. Banks like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Bank of America, even Australia's largest investment bank, Macquarie, and Deutsche Bank, so on and so forth. And not a week goes by that I'm not getting hounded by the financial media. Roger, in fact, I've been quoted on every major financial media outlet in the world.
I've seen you on CNBC. I've seen you on CNBC at least 30 times. So yeah, you're
Wall Street Journal, Barron's, Fox Business, Bloomberg, Reuters, the list goes on and on and on. I got to the point where I turned the media away. I've been interviewed at the NASDAQ in Times Square, at the New York Stock Exchange multiple times, so on and so forth. And it's all because of my ability to find these stocks before they explode. Like Roger mentioned earlier, anybody can tell you, oh yeah, this stock broke out and is up 500%.
Everybody's an Einstein. Everybody's a stock market genius after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Monday morning quarterback, right? It's a Monday morning quarterback. It's just that simple. The key here, Roger, is we're able to tell people before they explode. So for example, let me show you Facebook and just show you how this works in real time. In May of 2012, when Facebook came public, they started trading the first day. I was invited on Maria Bartiromo's show on CNBC back when she was there. And I was bearish, meaning I expected Facebook to fall. Everybody at the time thought Facebook was going to take off and go. And what happened was the stock fell 60% in the next 3 months. Why did I know that? Did I have some kind of crystal ball? Well, it was very simple. Number one, it was below the alpha line, which I'll get to. And number two, they couldn't monetize their audience. And that's exactly what I told Maria Bartiromo.
Now, let me ask you the most important. I got a very important question for you here.
I have a feeling I know where this is going. Go ahead.
Is she as cute in person as she is on TV? Because everybody likes Maria Bartiromo.
She coined the term, Roger, money honey, and it's trademarked because of her. So
now we can continue. All right, let's go.
Back to the regular schedule programming. So a year later, Facebook had stabilized, and then I was quoted in the Wall Street Journal saying Facebook's about to blast off. The stock was at $33. And here's the breakaway gap. You could see the article in the Wall Street Journal. Fast forward, the stock soared. We all know what happened to Facebook. It's one of the FANG stocks. In fact, it's the F in FANG. And you look at it now, the stock is up over 700%. That's a gain of 715%. And Roger, that's all public. That's when I was on TV, and that's when I was quoted in the Wall Street Journal. Not to mention what happens with the subscribers. So enough to turn every $10,000 invested into $71,500. Think about that, Roger. $10,000 into $71,500. But that's just one of many examples. Let me give you another one. Apple. We all know Apple. What's good for Apple is good for America. And Apple's one of the biggest stocks now. But back in 2015, the stock wasn't acting well. In fact, it was down. It was below $100 a share. This is before the split. And guess what happened? Everybody said it was left for dead. MarketWatch had an article saying this is the bad news is only beginning. But at the same time, I predicted Apple was going to explode. I even went on TV. I was on CNBC and Fox Business to announce the fact that Apple is what I called an undervalued growth stock. And what that simply meant is Apple crossed what I call the alpha line, which I'll get to later, and the stock had soared 373%. So anyone who would have bought it while I was on TV saying, hey, Apple's undervalued and it's a growth stock as well, would have been up 373%.
And you're talking in like a month, right? Like 3 weeks.
It's a few weeks. Yeah, not even.
2-week trade. Yeah.
Not even. It's enough to turn every $10,000 invested into over $37,300. And I'll get to exactly the details of the trade and how the system works and so on and so forth. Anyone who acted on just these two trades could have walked out with a whopping $108,800 payday. Think about that. What would you do with that money? Would you finally pay off the mortgage, travel the world? I'm going to be straightforward with you, Roger, before we go any further. Maybe you've been told or you've heard this before, the only way to make a fortune on Wall Street is to buy and hold or whatever word you want to use, the next Apple or Amazon or Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whatever it is. Or you have to spend hours staring at the screen or trading risky penny stocks. You know, Roger, you ever hear of bronchitis or any kind of itis? I call people who stare at the screen all day. They look at every tick. They have tickositis. because they're making emotional decisions and not rational ones. But it's just
Well,
not true. I mean, those things are just what everyone tells you, reasons, excuses why they don't make it.
of
In
course.
reality, you can spot these alpha trades and you can find consistent triple digit gains in institutional quality stocks. I don't trade penny stocks, in stocks like Apple, Facebook, in as little as 24 hours. And like Roger mentioned, it's not day trading. And just like when my system found a 24-hour gain of over 1,200% in Domino's Pizza. That's
Those two
insane.
things, those two things cannot reconcile in my mind. Domino's Pizza,
So let me
1246%.
pause for a second, Roger. Bring up a good point about Domino's. It came public the same year Google came public in 2004, and on a percent basis, Domino's actually went up more than Google over the next 10 years, if not longer. So Domino's has been a monster stock. And then go ahead.
Yeah, now, folks, thanks to alpha trades like these, Adam has been able to live life on his own terms. And I really, really mean that. His winnings have provided Adam and his family a life of comfort, including 3 homes in prime real estate. And I mean really good areas, like one close to New York City, summer home in Canada, a winter beach home in South Florida. Man, I love that. That sounds really, really good to me. And his clients have been making an absolute killing over the last 20 years. Not 5 years, not 10 years, but 20 years, which means he's extremely consistent as a trader. Notice, what you're about to see are real testimonials from everyday people who have followed Adam for years and years and years. And I've read some of them and they're amazing. Ryan D. from Iowa City. Adam is the best stock picker I've ever met. I've been in the business since 1982, so this guy's been around the block a few times. Let's read some more. Let's see. We got Jason from Delray Beach. I wrote a month ago and told you that my 2017 profits became the down payment to my house. Oh, I love the way that sounds. Security is the best. How about Eric Z from Chicago? I made more money in the last 6 months following Adam's picks than I have in the past 6 years. Man, this is great. That's what I'm talking about. How about Jamie H. from New York City? My first trade gave me a profit of $7,613, and I've been hooked on Adam's research ever since. I don't blame her. I only wish I met him when I first started trading. Those are some amazing feedbacks. Amazing, Adam. Amazing.
Roger, before I go any further, I need to be honest with you. If you haven't been able to make $7,000 or more or plus on a single trade, it's not your fault. I like to say you've been lied to. Wall Street pros have a massive information advantage over everyday investors, and they allow them to get in and out before everybody else. I've seen it firsthand. Even on CNBC, they've reported it. The nation's largest financial institutions pocket hefty sums of money with non-public information. Another study from Harvard Business School said brokers tend to tip off favored larger clients ahead of fire sales, giving them the chance to sell before retail investors. And since Wall Street makes up about 80% or more of the stock market, this means the everyday investor is left with crumbs on the table after Wall Street feasts on the biggest and fastest gains. And that's exactly where alpha trades come in. I built this so I can level the playing field between them and regular folks. And I want to give everybody a chance to get on these explosive trades alongside the Wall Street pros. I know what they look for. Alpha trades are exactly what they do. They don't happen in the stock market where everybody's looking. They are traded in very complex derivatives markets. But let me be clear. It's very, very simple when you know what to look for. And the thing is, people don't even know that they're there. And then even if they do, the small amount that do, they don't even know how to analyze the information. But I knew that in order to get in on the most explosive trades with Wall Street, I needed a legal way to access that information that the same Wall Street pros used. So over the last 20 years and spending countless amount of dollars, more than I want to share here, I leaned on a team of programmers, and we've developed a proprietary system that scans 35 million financial instruments on over 300 different exchanges in real time.
300 different exchanges.
Roger, it's all over. Information's flowing all day, every day, right? The key is to be able to filter out the noise and focus on the information that matters.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what the system does. It uses a complex mathematical formula that calculates the price delta between the earnings to consensus ratio through derivative instruments, and which alerts me to the Wall Street institutions are piling in and out of stocks. I know exactly where they're going and when they're going using this system. And it's not
you can't do this by hand, I imagine. It would take a very, very long time. It would be very time consuming.
Not at all. Yeah, this is if you ever watch the movie, The Imitation Game, it's when they first developed the computer and how it was a story about World War II and how the Allied forces beat Hitler's thing. And he had a computer. And the Allied forces came in, they had a computer and they cracked the code and they took him down. It's the same thing, but before that they were trying with people. It's the same thing. You've got so much information. It's too much information for one person to follow. But the good news, Roger, is once you put this stuff in the formula, it spits out real simple information anybody can use. All you have to do is be able to read and enter an order, and that's it. I call this system the alpha line, because once the stock goes above there, it's getting ready to explode. I know it's a difficult concept, and I'll get into it really and simplify it. Let me give you another example on how this works. Roger, you're familiar with the company DocuSign, correct?
Very much so. I use it all the time in personal business, and it was one of my top recommended stocks over the past several months because of what's been going on with COVID-19 and how people have been signing things off,
Yeah, it's a great company. They allow you to sign legal documents online. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And they've revolutionized the way people sign legal documents. Well, in early April, the stock was all over the place with no clear direction. And people didn't know what was going to happen. But on April 17th, my system noticed the stock crossed the alpha line. And as you can see in a moment here, I'll show you that the gains are just explosive. And all you need to know is that the stock crossed the alpha line. The Wall Street pros are piling into it. And that's really it. It's that simple.
So they don't need to be Wall Street experts. They don't need to understand advanced implied volatility. They simply, the stock crosses the line, you send them a signal, and they get in. That's just how simple it works, right? It's
that simple, Roger.
Gotcha.
You would have followed my alpha trade, DocuSign, the gains here would have been 379% in a few weeks.
Man, I love it.
In a few weeks. Turning every $3,000 invested into $14,370. That's enough money to take off the rest of the month, if not longer, if you wanted to. It's enough money to take a motorcycle ride around, take the day or take a week or take the month off. It doesn't matter. You can go explore a nearby city. You could take a cruise. You can take a trip to the beach. Do whatever tickles your fancy. It's your life. You do whatever you want.
Love it.
Roger, there's two simple steps here. The stock crosses the alpha line, and then my system triggers an alert. Period. It's that simple.
I love it.
Here's another example. Wayfair, big fan of the company. Same thing. They revolutionized the way people buy furniture. And again, what this is, it's like Amazon, but for furniture.
I was about to say it's the Amazon for furniture. They really are a great company. When I moved here 3 years ago to Florida, I bought a bunch of stuff from them, and it was a great decision.
I still buy from them today. And they've got great customer service, and put all that stuff aside, the stock crossed above my alpha line on March 24th. And what happened was it triggered an alpha alert, and it was that simple. And then what happened, the alert after the trade went up about 300% in the next 2 weeks. That's not small amount of money. That's big money.
$1,000 and you have $3,000 less than a week later. That's pretty sizable. I think that's getting out of the cubicle money, as I like to call it.
No question. They're getting out of the cubicle and telling the man that, I'm not working here anymore. A few of those at least. Turning every $1,000 invested to over $4,000. Here's another example, Roger. You could take American Airlines. American Airlines is the world's largest airline. And back a few months ago, Kelly Evans on CNBC back in May said, don't buy American Airlines. I'm not. The stock got hammered. People aren't traveling, so on and so forth. But on June 3rd, American Airlines crossed the alpha line. So my system triggered an alpha trade alert. And then guess what happened? If you would have placed that simple trade and spent the rest of your time doing what you love, I don't know, maybe playing golf with your friends, playing tennis, taking a boat out on the lake, spending time with your family, even hanging out at the beach.
Those all sound like everything I've been doing for the last 4 days. 4 days. Yeah, but all jokes aside, well, I got a question for you. Real important. You just showed us American Airlines. That's a reversal stock. So this alpha trade, alpha line, it works on momentum stocks, reversal stocks, pullback stocks. It works on all type of stock trades, right? It's not limited to one style of trading, right?
No, not at all. It works on value stocks. It works on growth stocks and everything in between. And just 24 hours later, you could have cashed out with a huge gain, Roger, of almost 2,000%. And this is, again, another Facebook example or American Airlines example, Apple example. The stock's left for dead. People say, get rid of it, forget about it. And then you have huge, huge gains in the options markets as well as the stock market itself.
Adam, you realize if you put $1,000, well, you're doing it with $5,000. If you put $5,000, you got $102,500, and you're talking 24 hours.
That's how it works. And again, Roger, it's not day trading. Let me be abundantly clear.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to worry about the day trading rule because we're officially holding 24 hours or over. Of course, totally understand. But this is amazing. So you start with $1,000. You have 1,200%. You just made $12,000 in 24 hours, Adam. Do you realize what this can mean for some people? This is craziness. This is great. I love it.
I mean, again, over time, Roger, it's changed my life. It's life-changing wealth, right? And that's why I'm here and countless others. So you could have made six figures with one simple trade. That's one trade. The average trade is held for a few days to a few weeks, not longer, not shorter. Some people like to go shorter. Some people like longer. I'm the intermediate term, few days to a few weeks kind of guy.
Same
That's
here.
My sweet spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for 4 times a year, there's trade, my system generates about 52 trades every year, about one a week. But there's 4 times a year you get these alpha zones, which happens, something special happens during earnings season. And that's the key here, is that not only do you get alerts throughout the year, but they get even more alerts during those earnings seasons.
So just to clarify, this is not a earnings season strategy. It just happens that during earnings season, you can take extra special advantage of the situation.
100%. And there's always an earnings season around the corner. See, that's the beauty of it, right? And if there's no earnings season, you don't need it. You have to all you need is a stock to cross above the alpha line, and then you get the alert. It's all you have to do. All the other work is done for you. And that's the beauty here. Let me show you just how powerful the system was during the last earnings season, Roger. You had a 24-hour gain, one day gain of about 400% in Target. Again, this is Target. We've all shopped there. We know the stores. It's a big institutional quality stock. Huge gains.
When I see 397%, I'm thinking Amazon, Nvidia. I'm not thinking Target. So the fact that you can make a triple-digit gain on Target is really, really sweet.
And you've got Deere. Look at this. Deere up 152%. Here's Salesforce.com. You're up 748% in 24 hours. Again, Ulta. We'll talk Ulta Beauty. They're a big retailer.
Yeah.
245% gain from Ulta.
And that's a turnaround stock. I mean, and now you're talking about momentum stocks. And that's what I really love about this. This is very flexible. You can apply this to all type of stocks. That's very, very, that's very positive, because that says it's not curve fitted to the past or to a specific type of stock. And that's very, 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 very pertinent.
Right. Like you mentioned earlier, anybody can go out and cherry pick the top 10 stocks and, oh, look at these trades. No, that's why I have all these examples here to show you how they work in different environments. Here's Zoom. I mean, we're using Zoom now. In 24 hours, you get a gain of 213%. And that's big. I mean, that's not a small amount of money. Now, keep in mind, these 5 trades occurred in a matter of 13 consecutive trading days, during the same earnings season. If you placed all 5 of these alpha trades, you could have turned $500 into $117,881 in only 13 days. Roger, that's how powerful the system is.
Wow. Wow.
And again, the stock crosses the alpha line, you get the alert. It's that simple. And I believe that these alpha trades will have even bigger gains during the next earnings season, which is just a few weeks away. And that's the beauty. These trades work over and over and over again. And I've been guiding some of the wealthiest investors in the world on how to grow their money, some of the biggest investment banks since the 90s. And I don't do it alone. It doesn't just randomly happen by choice or by chance. And like I mentioned earlier, there's 2 simple steps here, Roger. Step 1, stock crosses the alpha line. And I'll tell you exactly when that happens, so you don't have to worry about anything. And step 2, the system triggers an alpha trade alert. That's simple. And you don't have to stare at stock charts all day. In fact, I recommend you don't. You don't have to touch risky penny stocks. I don't recommend that. And you don't have to worry about, staring at charts all day and getting your head just all emotionally.
In other words, it's not speculative, and it's not something where I have to decide to quit my old job so I can have a new job staring at my computer screen for 9 hours at a time. That's not what this is.
Not the case. Right. And you don't even need a lot of money to get started. You can get started with just as little as $300. All you have to do is just wait for the stock to cross the alpha line. My system triggers an alert, and then you get notified. And here's some more winners, just so you can see, Roger, how this works in real time. Look at Netflix back in May. You had a gain of 289%. A whopping 456% gain in INO back in June. And most people would be thrilled to see these type of gains over 20 years, let alone in a few days or a few weeks. And the best part about this is that I'm able to find these gains in weeks and as short as 24 hours, if not 48 hours. And that's how this works. Like when my system triggered a gain of 1,246% in Domino's Pizza.
Now, Adam, sorry to interrupt you, but do you give the entry, you give the exit, you give the stop, you give everything you don't just get people into the trade. You get them out of the trade. You tell them how to manage. It's all there, right? I mean, it's
100%. Hold your, I gave you weekly updates with the market, and I gave you the trade updates, let you know when to get in, when to get out.
Gotcha. Sorry, I needed to ask that question. I needed to know the answer to that question. Sorry, go ahead, please.
I make it as simple. Anybody can do this. So here's another gain, 1,153% in Zscaler. I mean, this is a big move. Then you've got other gains that we can talk about. You've got Fastly. We spoke about Fastly earlier. I'll talk about it again. A gain of 2,422%. As you can see, that's a big, big, big move. And
Man,
the S&P
that's crazy.
500, yeah, Roger, you mentioned this earlier. The gain in the S&P 500 over the last, I don't know, 20 years has been, like you mentioned, what was it, 598?
5.9. It's between 5.98 and 5.92%. I don't remember which one, but it's about 6% a year. So
About
yeah,
6% a year. It would take you over 32 years to turn $10,000 to 117,000. And as you can see from these trades, you have a chance over the next 12 months to make at least $117,881. And that's what the system has to offer, starting with your very first alpha trade alert. And that's why I picked today to announce this, because I'll reveal in a moment what that trade is. And remember, Roger, I didn't start out wealthy. I didn't have any kind of, silver spoon given to me. I developed this system in my dorm room in grad school. And
isn't it interesting how some of the best traders in the world, and I talked to a lot of traders like you, most guys like me and you started with very, very little. We didn't start with silver spoons in our mouth. So it's interesting how the drive that you have, that you were born with, does that for you. I love that, Adam. I love it.
It's great, Roger. Not only that, we both have, and any seasoned traders had their fair share of losses, right? They call it market tuition. I just call it, you learn from those losses or you repeat them. So thankfully I was able to learn from them, and they happened early in my life. So I was dedicated to saying, okay, I know I don't know. So now I've got to learn. And that's all I've been doing and continue to do. And that's the basic, way that this system works. And it's also been able to provide a life for me that I couldn't even dream of back then when I was getting started. I remember I would worry when the bill would come for dinner. So, and even better, I've been able to change other people's lives as well. And we mentioned some of them earlier. I'll give you a few more examples now.
Like Kevin from Minnesota. I'm just going to say it. I'm an idiot, or at least I was an idiot before I met you. I mean, this is great, Adam. This is just an amazing feedback. And we've got others. Let's take a look at some others. David R. wrote in, tell us, 5-star. The service is great for finding great trades and identifying proper entries to get in and stay in for the big move. This system can be followed with little time commitment. I guess he answered my question. Let's see what other people have to say. I mean, this is, I guess I asked too many questions too early.
No,
Robert W. has been using the system for years, tried many different services over the years, been winning with Adam for 7 years now, and won't be leaving. 7 years. This guy really likes you. I love that. See, everything I'm seeing here, Adam, shows that you're very consistent. And once people meet you, they don't want to leave you. Andrew H. from Milwaukee said, I failed a lot in the stock market and was about to throw in the towel and give up, like a lot of traders do who are frustrated. He was frustrated and just didn't think he had what it takes until he saw his sister make big money. So you actually tutored his sister, and he saw the gains she was making, and he decided to get on the bandwagon. I love that. I signed up and never looked back. It was the best trade of my life.
Notice, Roger, he's saying signing up was the best trade of his life, right?
Yeah, I signed up and right. Evan O. from Michigan wrote in, there's way too much BS out there. Boy, I agree with it. I agree with him. Adam is the only person I ever came across who is a straight shooter and delivers enormous value with no BS. He gives me simple information that I can use to make real money. Yes, Steve, this is live. Yes, this is live. Sorry, I got off track.
These are just, by all means, these are just regular investors who chose to follow me. Now they're on track to build their wealth, have the freedom that comes with building wealth for years and years to come. And that gives me the greatest joy, as you know as well, because you've had that experience. I've spent the last 20 plus years successfully navigating markets and finding the most explosive alpha trades. And no one else, to my knowledge, is doing this and sharing it with the public. All you need to do is follow my lead and simply buy the stocks that have crossed the alpha line. Remember, it's a system that anybody can use, and you can be on your way to achieving the life of your dreams. And that's how this works. Like, look at Pamela R. from California. She said, before I found the service, she was lost. I was making emotional decisions, and consistently losing money. She's a single mom, has 3 kids, and she used to work a normal 9 to 5 and worry about her bills. Now, thanks to the service, her money works for her, not the other way around. And that is a really, really important point here.
That's right. Because you know what defines success? It's when your money works for you and not the other way around.
Or Victor, who wrote in, said, Adam taught me how to make money in the stock market. Now I consistently take money out of the market instead of putting it into the market. I love it. And that's a great, just, example of how this works. John V wrote in and said, my neighbor bought a new sports car one day. And I asked him, where'd you get all the money to buy that kind of a car? He said, Adam. Who's Adam? He didn't know me from Adam, pardon the pun. And he said, oh, let me, Google me that kind of thing. We met, and back in 2012, he made enough money to put all of his kids through college.
That warms my heart. It really does warm my heart. I love seeing things like that.
He made so much money, Roger. He put all of his kids through college. And these are the type of success stories that keep happening all the time, because the key is every trade is the trade. If you find a stock that goes above an alpha alert, you're there and you get the alert. It's that simple. Anybody can follow this. And that's a real secret to long-term success, like my members have had over the years. You put this, you want to stack the odds of success in your favor. And that's really the goal. And find a system that works and is time tested. It works in bull and bear markets. Remember, this is long and short. There might be another question that comes up. This works in bull markets and it works in bear markets.
You just answered my question. You know what, Adam? I always say that means it's a recession-proof strategy. And I was just about to ask you that question. Thank you for answering it. Folks, this works in bull and bear markets. It doesn't matter what type of market environment we are in. And yes, it uses options. So yes. Go ahead.
And simple options. You buy a call, you buy a put.
No spreads, no combination. Right. Real simple, just buying options. But let's go ahead. A lot of people were asking that, and I'm just kind of going through the question. So you could trade stock or the option. But go ahead. Go ahead.
And I'm always giving my followers the best chance to make big and fast gains with as little risk as possible. That's because my system only triggers alpha trade alerts for stocks that cross the alpha line. I've been making money consistently over the last 20 years, and some of the richest billionaires and hedge funds and investment banks, so on and so forth, come to me for help to grow their wealth. And it's all because of these alpha trades. And I want to give you a chance to make gains like this when your very first alpha trade alert, which I'll reveal shortly, because it's part of an elite new VIP research service I'm calling Alpha Trade Alerts. So for anyone who follows my Alpha Trade Alerts over the next year, I'll guarantee you a chance to earn at least $117,881 in profits over the next 12 months.
That's pretty bold statement. You're guaranteeing them a chance to earn. That means you have a very, very strong feel about how it's going to perform over the next 12 months. That says a lot about your strategy, Adam. I really like to see that. You're putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, I mean, Roger, remember, you made that much money in 13 days. So over the course of a year, the strategy, it works. And because we're only trading the stocks, here's a secret, that have crossed above the alpha line. That's it. We're filtering out most of the stocks. They don't even make the criteria. And hitting $117,881 in 12 months might actually be conservative, considering that you could have made that, in just 13 days. Now, of course, my investing results are not normal, and my proprietary system is not perfect either. There is no system that's 100% perfect. And that's the beauty of this business. You don't have to be 100% perfect. All you need is a strategy that gives you the highest payoff when you're right and with the least amount of risk when you're wrong. So you don't need every single trade to win. And there's no strategy out there that can do that. And my strategy is a little bit different. It's tracking the one thing that's almost guaranteeing stocks to shoot higher, and that's when the stock crosses above the alpha line. And just keep that in mind. You're buying the alpha stocks that cross above the alpha line. So that's why my only trade, my trades, the alpha trades, consistently make gains week in and week out.
That's
the way that it works, Roger, it's the stock crosses the alpha line, you get an alert. Just that simple. And here's Marcy. She said, I've doubled my money with stocks like Apple, Adobe, Amazon, Netflix, Shopify, and Peloton, all thanks to Adam's weekly service. Here's Peter R. He's trading the service. He used to struggle when he started trading. I know that's how I felt when I first started. I didn't know what was going on. I felt like I was getting beat up, and he was just trading with no rhyme or reason. But one day he found me, and then all of a sudden he made more money than anyone else on the planet, and he's tried a lot of people. And if you're serious about making money in the market, Alpha Alerts is the answer. Then you have Carmen S. She said, jumping in before a stock moves is her new favorite thing to do in life.
That sounds great. I love it. I love what Carmen has to say.
The new favorite thing to do in life. Here's Arthur. Artie wrote in and said, making money used to be hard, but now it's easy. It takes me less than 5 minutes every week. And let me stop here for a second, Roger, and talk about this. The reports go out over the weekend when the market's closed, and it takes less than 5 minutes to do this. You get the alert, place the trade, and you're done. It's that simple. These are regular folks who have a chance to make $117,881 a year, thanks to my alpha trades. And you could be looking at those kind of gains as well over the next 12 months, if not more, because alpha trades can hand you big and fast gains without unnecessarily risky strategies. And that's the other side. I love it. You control the risk, right? That's why it's easy to get started with their first alpha trade today. You won't need any rare permissions from your brokerage account. You don't need any complicated charts. You won't even need complicated strategies. In fact, I do all the work. And once you become a member of my Alpha Trade Alert service today, you can get started in less than 5 minutes. Right now, I've got an Alpha Trade Alert that I need you to see. My system just detected a stock that has crossed the alpha line, and you'll get all the details. Because when you join us, I'll send you an email with the subject line, the #1 alpha trade to make right now. And that has a chance to go up over 1,000%. And chances are good that it can go up that much, because this could be the start of you potentially earning $117,881 over the next 12 months, which is about $10,000 a month in extra cash. Now, what would you do about it? Think about it for a second. Imagine what you could do with an extra 10 grand a month, because you don't have to believe that, or chase these dreams that are unattainable. You could take an RV ride around the countryside. You could jump on a plane and go to Europe, visit a castle in Scotland if you want. You can go canoeing or go and enjoy the outdoors. It's a reliable income that comes in on average for these returns of about $10,000 a month. My goal is to help you take money out of the market and not put money into the market. Remember, that's a big piece of the equation. Every single week, I send out at least one Alpha Trade Alert by email with specific instructions on how to make the trade. And usually when the markets are closed over the weekend. So there's no emotion in the picture. And everything is clear. It includes, Roger, what to buy, when to buy, and when to sell. Let me repeat that.
Love it. So it's very, yeah. Go ahead, Adam. Sorry. Go ahead.
What to buy, when to buy, and when to sell. That's
so. There's nothing left to wonder, figure out what to do, how to do it, or anything like that. It's all straightforward, spoon-fed. Am I correct?
That's simple. Anybody can do it, Roger, as long as you can read the alert and then place a trade. But since this proprietary system scans millions of data points every hour to find these trade alerts, and I have a very strict criteria, I can't predict how many will actually meet my criteria at any given time. But on average, my system finds at least 52 alpha trade alerts and new opportunities every year, if not more. Sometimes you get a few a week, and which means you'll get explosive gains like these.
I mean, this is amazing. You get 179% in 24 hours on Wayfair, 291% on Amazon, 1,153% on Zscaler. Adam, these are some really, really juicy gains.
Oh, yeah. You've got 2,422% in Fastly, 1,950 in American Airlines, almost 2,000% returns. I mean, as you can see, these are big, big gains. But even more, when you join us, you'll also get my weekly updates on our recommendations, including a monthly market summary. In fact, I might even do them weekly, so you can be confident I'm closely monitoring our alpha trade opportunities. And I'm with you every step of the way to hold your hand to make sure you understand and you could see the market from my point of view. And that's kind of the goal here. You'll get the exact research that has made my clients and myself very wealthy over the last 20 years. My system is the reason I've been trusted to guide billions of dollars in wealth for wealthy investors. It's the reason I'm invited to speak on TV and been invited all over the financial media. I'm a contributor at Forbes. I've got over 4 million readers there. They reached out to me and invited me to contribute because of all of my press. It's the reason.
Well, that's how I originally stumbled onto you, and that's how you and I started talking, if you remember. So because I've seen you everywhere, and I was like, I got to get this guy on my program. So look, my job is to get the best traders out there at WealthPress, and I'm doing my job. So go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
Great job. It's the reason I'm able to afford multiple houses in different countries. Alpha trades allow me to do whatever I want, Roger, whenever I want. I get a chance to own the most valuable asset in the world, and that's my time. Remember, you can't buy more time. You can buy lots of things, but you can't buy more time. And this gives me the freedom to do whatever I want, whenever I want. So when you join us today, this gets even better for you. I know you don't have a computer all day for alerts, and you don't have to. That's the best part here, because it's over the weekend when the markets are closed, and it takes less than 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 at the most, to go through it.
Usually, so it's not about it's not like a competition of who can get to the computer faster to place a trade. You give them plenty of time. There's no rush. They got plenty of time to get into this trade.
It's the exact opposite of what almost everybody else does. I'm not a rushed guy. I don't say manic and go crazy with the emotions. I remove the emotions from the equation. I send it to you on the weekend. You take your time. You look it over. You do your research. Excuse me. And if you like it, you buy it. You don't like it, you pass. That's simple. You'll have plenty of time to get into the trade when my system triggers the alert. and you'll know.
And you give them and you give them the strike price, the expiration, you give them everything they need to place the trade. There's no surprises, nothing to wonder, nothing to figure out. It's all there. Am I correct?
It's all there, Roger, and anybody can follow it as long as you can read and place a trade. And I even give you videos to show you how to place the trade in specifics, clearly showing you how to do it.
Love it.
All you do, remember, Roger, is just check your email over the weekend. And then if you decide you want to take the trade, you take it. If you don't, you don't. Now, Roger, keep in mind, some big hedge funds pay me over $50,000 a year to get this level of research. And that's to make them rich and only to make about 5 to 9% a year. Those guys, typically get in the market. Now, my wealthy clients have paid me millions of dollars in fees over the years because the returns have more than justified the cost. One of my clients calls me, Adam, you give me the R in ROI, the return on that investment.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it makes money. It works in both bull and bear markets. It's a long system. You make money on the way up, and it's a short system. You make money on the way down. But now I'm focused on growing other people's wealth as well, because it feels good, as you know, to help other people. You help a billionaire make 10%, he makes $100 million. You spoke about this to me the other day. But when you help everyday people change their lives, it's you get that benefit. Before I invite you to join us, I need to address something really important, because I remember what it felt like to invest my first $1,000 in the market. I had a lot of uncertainty about what was going on and what I was doing. In fact, I just didn't know. And I had no clue. And I had this statistic just going through my head and just kept on drumming. Over 99% of new traders not only lose money in the market, but they can't beat the market. Even professional traders, a lot of them can't beat the market. And that's why I want to do something special. And here's what I'm going to do. Because you can give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach a man a fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And that's the goal of this, is to give you the fish, teach you the fish, and then give you some more fish along the way. I'll show you my exact trading methodology and down to every minute detail. And when
not a black box system, every detail is explained.
Everything is explained. Anybody can follow it. And when you follow my training down to every detail, you'll become the go-to guy in your circle and friends and family looking to you for investment advice. So I'll get, just like the testimonies we saw earlier, the sister, the friend, the neighbor, it just happens.
I hide during family barbecues so nobody bugs me with stocks. I just go hide somewhere because there's like a line out the door. Sorry, go ahead.
So I'll give you this training for free when you join us today. And that's a video series that I call the Alpha Trade Secrets Masterclass. You'll get my exact details from A to Z in simple, short videos that anybody can follow with a detailed explanation. It's really simple stuff. Weekly Alpha Trade Alert videos. And in these, every week, I'll go through the market, update it for you, let you know what's going on, update the portfolio with you, and keep you one step ahead of the crowd is what I like to say. You also get access to a private members-only portal. And the private members-only portal is available anytime. The Alpha
24/7, they can log in anytime they want to?
24/7 access anytime.
Gotcha.
The Alpha Trade Alerts hotline, same thing. Call it anytime you want. Most folks like to dabble in the markets, as you know, Roger, and they don't really take it seriously. They go here, they go here, there, and they go up and down, and it's not pretty.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Then there's people who are dead serious about making money and taking action, and they know the importance of growing their wealth as fast as possible. Now, I don't know which kind of person you are, but I kind of have an idea of who I want to help. I know exactly who I want to help. If they're flaky, they're part of that first group. No, thank you. It's not for me. Serious alpha traders are the people that I want to help with these alpha trade alerts. And if you want to skip the learning curve and you want to start building your wealth as fast as possible, I'll guarantee you a chance to make at least $117,881 in your first year.
That's pretty impressive, Adam. I got to say, that is pretty impressive.
The numbers speak for themselves, right? I can't make this stuff up.
No.
But there's a huge problem. Most people can't afford the $50,000 a year or any of the other kind of fees that I charge my wealthy clients. And Roger, that's why I asked my publisher to release the service at an extremely affordable rate that's so low that anybody would be crazy not to take me up on this offer. As a result, because I'm a very hands-on person, as you know, and give a very high level of customer service and interact with everybody, I can only accept 250 new members at this low rate today. And since we have over 400,000 readers on our list, that means less than 0.1% will make it on board. So you're either in or you're out. This will fill out fast. It's going to sell out.
Oh, it will. I can promise you it'll sell out probably in 10, 15 minutes, especially with numbers like this.
Because people have been asking me, Roger, for a long, how do you get in on these alpha trades? Domino's popped 1,246% in one day. Again, not a day trade, in one day. You buy it Wednesday, you sell it Thursday. You have a 2,400% gain in Fastly. T. Boone Pickens, a self-made billionaire. I had a party for him at the New York Stock Exchange when he launched his ETF, and had hundreds of brokers and financial advisors and hedge fund managers and other institutional investors show up. Thomas Kaplan, another self-made billionaire. These aren't dummies. Turned $10,000 into a few million. And I saw him firsthand.
These are some of the wisest, smartest investment sharks that exist on this planet.
I'm telling you, their level, their criteria, their bar.
This is the guide behind George Soros. I mean, Stanley, this is like the trading god of all gods, He's
a living legend. He truly is. And the quality, the caliber, the intellect. I mean, it's a different orbit. Think of the different orbits. These guys operate and they function on different planes. So if you want to join us, then you must hurry, because the next alpha trade is getting ready to pop. And now, to make this a no-brainer for you, I'll put my money where my mouth is. If I don't show you how to make at least $117,881 over the next 12 months, I'll pay for you to join one of my colleagues' services. That's any product from Roger Scott, Lance, James, or Rob. If I fail, I'll pay you to switch to their service. That's money out of my pocket. That's how confident I am, Roger, that these alpha trades will change lives. And it's happened before, it'll happen again. So I doubt this opportunity will last long, especially since I guarantee you'll have the opportunity to make $117,881. I've invested more than countless thousands, millions of dollars over the years, and countless hours, more money than I want to share, and time, into perfecting this system. And that's exactly why my clients come to me, and the media comes to me, and so on and so forth. And it's starting with the first opportunity to make it $117,881 over the next 12 months. Now, as soon as you join, you'll get an email with my top alpha trade alert. That trade could make you maybe 231%, 784%, 1981. That's almost 2,000% in a week's time. That's why, Roger, that's why this membership is only for serious, committed alpha traders. That's what I call people that are serious. Not only the stocks, the alpha stocks, but the traders. And since you're here now with us, I know who you are. You're committed to living the good life. You know that success doesn't come to you. You must go after it and grab it. That's how life works.
Listen, this is what I always say. There's two kinds of dogs out there. One dog, you keep kicking, it'll roll over and die. The other kind, you'll kick and kick, it'll jump up and bite you in the ass. And that's the kind of people we want to
I love that. That's great. So if you're committed to living the good life, go out and get it. I mean, that's what I tell people. If you want to live the dream, then you need to reach out and grab it for yourself. Only you can make that decision for yourself. And that's it's really simple. Just you join us today, because I'm showing you a chance to potentially collect 117,881 gains over the next 12 months. Starting with my number one stock you should buy today if you're interested. But since I'm giving you a rock solid guarantee that I'll deliver these returns, I'm putting all the risk on myself. And let me take a stance here, Roger, before I go any further. Just like you're evaluating me and my service, I'm evaluating you, because I'm extremely picky about who gets access to my research. Remember, I'm very hands-on. I offer a lot of customer service here. I want to make sure everybody gets answered. If you're going to read my research and do nothing with it, guess what? It isn't for you. It's not for you. You can leave right now. I'm a nice guy, not a nice guy. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to be honest with people and help people. And if you're still on the fence about it, you're not sure if this is for you, then let me help you out. It's not for you. You probably should leave. And if you're still here, then I know there's something special about you. If you watch this far, you're probably the kind of person that I'm looking for. Someone who's committed to finding alpha trades and becoming an alpha trader that finds stocks that are able to skyrocket without taking on risky strategies or going after penny stocks or day trading exotic leverage instruments. So unless you disagree, then I look forward to welcome you as a member of Alpha Trade Alerts. As promised, here's my number one rated stock to buy right now. Make sure you get a pen and write it down. The ticker symbol is PLTR. Now, Roger, the last time we did this, the stock soared over 60%. That was the stock, not the options.
Wow.
After the broadcast.
Can you imagine 60% on the stock? That's probably about 900 to 1,000% on the option, if I had to guess. Maybe a little more.
Now we've got PLTR. It's a newer stock, a new IPO. Remember, Wall Street managers they always want new merchandise, and PLTR is set up to pop. We just fired off an Alpha Trade alert over this past weekend. It's open right now. We essentially on calls at $10, and the stock's up over 40% on track to, since if the alert gets filled and everything works out the way.
So this is a prime pick.
The stock's trading near 10. My research shows me it can go up towards 100 in the next 12 to 18 months in the future. That's the stock, not the options. But that's just the stock. Remember, the Alpha Trade alert can hand you much bigger gains.
Right.
And so, Roger, why don't you remind us what happens when you join Alpha Trade alerts?
I'd love to, as a matter of fact. Let me do that right now. Now, this is the part that I've been telling people that this is really, really where you want to be. Now, folks, when you join today, and all you need to do is go to wealthpress.com/alpha or call 904-404-8870. But you're going to get your first alert. It's waiting for you in the members area. You're going to get 52 Alpha Trade alerts every year, minimum of 52. You're going to get the Alpha Trade secret video series, which will show you how everything works all under the hood. It's not a black box type of system. You get weekly updates from Adam, where he'll update you on any questions, answer all questions. You'll have the trade alert hotline and a private members only area. Now, well, there you have it, folks. Adam, he's one of the top investors in the world. He's mentored, coached, and managed money for some of the wealthiest people on planet. We're talking Stanley Druckenmiller, Donald Trump's broker, T-Boone. I mean, we're talking about billionaires, all right? And this is the first time ever that he's revealed his proprietary system to the general public. But there's only 250 spots left, and you got to take your opportunity now when it's handed to you. Don't wait any longer. Procrastination is the biggest enemy to getting rich. Go to wealthpress.com/alpha. We've never offered this system before. It's 401k friendly, IRA friendly. You buy limited risk calls, limited risk puts. There's no spreads. There's no combinations. If you have questions, call 904-404-8870. Take advantage of this opportunity. So reserve your spot now. Click the link below. You'll have the chance to review the details of your membership on the next page. Get started. Click on the link below. If you have a question, call 904-404-8870. Now remember, Adam's only holding out 250 spots. He wants to give people individual attention. He wants to be able to help individually people answer questions. Adam will then rush you an email that will have everything you need to get started to the top Alpha Pick alert to buy right now. It's waiting for you in the members area. And again, there's nothing to think about. It's time to make a decision. It means Adam will immediately join the ranks of Adam's insiders who have made a fortune following his recommendations. Folks, you really should take advantage of this offer. Take a look at William F. My 2017 profits became the down payment of my house. I love that. Eric Z, I made more money the last 6 months of following your picks than I have in the past 6 years. Folks, go to wealthpress.com/alpha. Do it now. Take advantage of this opportunity while it's offered to you. How about Jamie H? My first trade gave me a profit of $7,613. Adam, can you imagine on your first trade making $7,613? Can you go back, remember 20 years ago? That's crazy, right?
Lost.
Right. I would be like thinking I just won the lottery. Folks, Look at these winners. 179% in 2 days from Wayfair. How about 394% in 6 days from Zoom? How about 230% in less than 2 months from Netflix? How about 666% in 2 days from Twilio? Imagine taking profit from one and then putting it into another, taking profit from the other and parlaying it into another. You could really, really change your financial future forever by doing that, all right? Click the link below or call the number to get started. We're not charging $106,000. We're not charging $50,000. We're not charging $25,000. We're not even charging $5,000 for this. We're charging $14.97. It's happening today only. This offer will not be available after 250 spots are filled. Now, last time we had someone like this of Adam's caliber, we sold out in 20 minutes, all right? And Adam is one of the top go-to guys on Wall Street because when you join Alpha Trade Alerts today, you're going to get your very first trade alert. You're going to get 52 trade alerts every year. You're going to get the Alpha Trade Secret video series. You're going to get the weekly Alpha Trade Alert video updates. Everything will be answered. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to Adam. That's the reason why he's only going to have 250 people here. You get the Alpha Trade Alert hotline. If you have a question,